Shabbat Shalom. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Kalala Yahweh Ba Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm going to let the notifications notify who they're going to notify and let whoever's going to come in go ahead and come in. We're talking about outer space tonight. We're talking about outer space. We're going to expose some lies that we've been told about outer space by the way of the vanity of the most miserable. The miserable people who have these constructs and ideologies that they force to the masses, right? And if you're joining in, go ahead and say something in the chat. If you're tuning in, go ahead and say something in the chat. Introduce yourself. And give a moment for YouTube to notify who they're going to notify. Stay in the spirit in the comments. No foolishness will be tolerated. None whatsoever. I have no patience for any foolishness. Hello to Martin. Welcome. We're going to talk about space, right? And the vanity of the heathens that put it together. Because contrary to popular belief, a lot of what we were taught about space is completely wrong. It's completely wrong and information of vanity. I'm gonna start off with a resource. This resource or this reference is from a website called space.com, right? Space.com. And we're gonna read the information from this website. It's an educational website about space, right? We're going to read the information from here, and then we're going to go into some scriptures. So this is an article on their website. And it's, what is space? Again, this is on space.com. And it says, what is space? And in this article, it starts off with saying, what is space? In this image, you can see the planetary nebula NGC 6891. Now, I will be leaving the link to this resource or this reference that I'm reading off of tonight. It'll be in the comments, along with several other links if you have it in your spirit to show some support by the way of an offering. However, it reads that this planetary nebula glows in the Hubble Space Telescope. And that's the caption underneath the picture. And it starts off saying, we often refer to our expanding universe with one simple word, space. But where does space begin? And more importantly, what is it? So in the article, they say space is an almost perfect vacuum, nearly void of matter and with extremely low pressure in space. Sound doesn't carry because there aren't molecules close enough together to transmit sound between them. Not quite empty, but bits of gas, dust, and other matter floats around emptier areas of the universe, while more crowded regions can host planets, stars, and galaxies. Now, I'm going to stop right there and give my commentary on that. So they say it's an almost perfect vacuum, and there's nothing, there's a whole bunch of nothingness in between whatever's floating in space, right? And they say that it's crowded regions can host planets, stars, and galaxies, right? But what does the Most High say about this? We're going to go to the book of Genesis real quick. We're going to go to the book of Genesis and get a better description of space. So Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 through 8. In the beginning, Yah created the heaven and earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the waters. And Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. And Yah saw the light, that it was good. And Yah divided the light from the darkness. And Yah called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Now we're getting into the portion that man calls space. Verse 6. And Yah said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. So Yah said there's a firmament up there. And the firmament is dividing water from water. So in this brief description that we read on the website that many other quote unquote astronomer scholars would reference the basic of space to, why don't they ever mention this water that is above the earth as well as below? Verse 7. And Yah made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. So the Most High said there's water below and there's water above this firmament. So in this brief description on what space is on this educational website, why wasn't water ever mentioned? And all throughout our schooling, why haven't they ever told us that water is up there? Verse 8. And Yah called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. So the Most High says when we look up and we see all of the luminaries, it's heaven. But man says it's space. Back to the article. From our earthbound perspective, outer space is most often thought to begin about 62 miles, which is 100 kilometers above sea level, at what is known as the Kármán line. This is an imaginary boundary at an altitude where there is no appreciable air to breathe or scatter light. Passing this altitude, blue starts to give way to black. Blue starts to give way to black because oxygen molecules are not in enough abundance to make the sky blue. So here they are with their theories. Already speaking of theories as to when the heavens begin above the earth. They said it's approximately 62 miles above sea. We're going to figure out why that's a lie. And the Kármán line. The Most High never mentioned anything about a Kármán line. So therefore, we're hearing yet again more theories from the corrupted mind of man. Continuing on. No one knows exactly how big space is. It's difficult to determine because of what we can see in our detectors. We measure long distances in space in quote unquote light years, representing the distance it takes for light to travel in a year, roughly 5.8 trillion miles, 9.3 trillion kilometers. So 5.8 trillion miles is 9.3 trillion kilometers. So they're claiming they can measure this in space. See, when we hear this, when we hear this information that's given by the way of the heathens, it comes from their twisted ideology of life, right? Because I'm going to show you all in the scriptures why this is false information. I'm going to go ahead and get to it. Because the Most High said otherwise. How are they coming up with miles and kilometers in space? This term light years, that was never mentioned in the Bible. Who came up with this term light years? Again, the twisted mind of man, the twisted, vain, and haughty imagination of those who have set these establishments we know of today. What do Yah say about this? Yah said in Jeremiah chapter 31, starting at verse 35 and ending at verse 37. This is what Yah said about measuring the heavens. Starting at verse 35. This is again Jeremiah 31, verse 35. Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for light by night, which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured, what did he say? Thus saith Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured, if it can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all they have done, saith Yahweh. So that's how we prove that this man's theory of space is a damn lie, because the Most High hasn't cast off the nation of Israel. We're still here. We're not utterly destroyed, as though many enemies of Israel would like us to be, which probably equates to why they claim they can measure space. And they have all these theories within their doctrines stating that, hey, we measure the speed of light by light years. Oh, this planet is so many light years away. Oh, the moon is this many miles away from the earth. The Most High said in Jeremiah 31, verses 35 through 37, that the heavens cannot be measured. It's all good. Just tune in here. True followers, just tune in and listen here, and then once it's done, you'll catch the beginning. You didn't miss too much. We're only 16 minutes in. So, yeah, going back to this article, they're a damn lie talking about all this measurement of the heavens above. Let's go back to it. So they're saying here, from the light that is visible in our telescopes, we have charted galaxies reaching almost as far back as the Big Bang, which is thought to have started our universe about 13.8 billion years ago. So that's another lie. 13.8 billion years ago. The earth was not around that long. The earth was not around that long. 13.8 billion years ago. And anyway, how would you be able to count that far back to make such a determination? Being a mere mortal. See, we never questioned this stuff because it was forced down our psyche throughout the wicked educational system that we all have been exposed to. Babylon's education system had taught us to just take in information and regurgitate it. But the universe continues to expand, making measuring space even more challenging. So the heathen is claiming they can measure space. But the Most High said, quote unquote, space, the heavens cannot be measured. And if they weren't able to be measured, he will destroy the whole seed of Israel. That's what he said in Jeremiah chapter 31. Going back to the article. Additionally, astronomers are not totally sure if our universe is the only one that exists. This means that space could be a whole lot bigger than we even think. So in all their arrogance, they believe that they have somewhat of an idea of the size of space. But the Most High said space, quote unquote, cannot be measured. The heavens cannot be measured. So how are you coming up with all these miles and light years? Let's go to some more scriptures. So we're going to find out how they got a lot of this information that they profess so profoundly, right? So confidently, so boldly, this data that they claim to have on space and planets and the whole nature of quote unquote space, the heavens, right? This is where it began. We're going to the book of Enoch, chapter 7, starting from the top. It happened after the sons of men had multiplied in those days, that daughters were born to them, elegant and beautiful. And when the angels, the sons of heaven, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, "Come, let us select for ourselves wives from the progeny of men, and let us beget children." Then their leader, Samyaza, said to them, I fear that you might perhaps be indisposed to the performance of this enterprise, and that I alone shall suffer for so grievous a crime. But they answered him and said, "We all swear." So these fallen angels plotted to fornicate with the daughters of men, in which they did. Right? Continuing forward here. So when they plotted that, the chief angel among these degenerates held them accountable to that. He's like, well, I know I'm not going to do this alone. We know this is wrong. He even called it a grievous crime. He knew it was wrong. They knew it was wrong. However, they made an oath. And we'll see that here in a second. Verse 6, and bind ourselves by mutual extractions, that we will not change our intention, but execute our projected undertaking. Then they swore all together, and all bound themselves by mutual execrations. Their whole number was 200, who descended upon Ardis, which is the top of Mount Armon. That mountain, therefore, was called Armon because they had sworn upon it and bound themselves by mutual execrations. These are the names of their chiefs: Samyaza, who was their leader; Yerakabar Amil, Akabiel, Tamiel, Ramiel, Daniel, Askil, Sarkanyal, Asael, Armers, Batral, Anani, Zavebi, Samsaviel, Ertael, Terrell, Yamyael, Arazael. These were the perfects of the 200 angels, and the remainder were all with them. So that was Enoch chapter 7, verses 1 through 9. So we had an introduction by name, the fallen angels that have a part into this profane knowledge that we're reading about the heavens. These group of degenerate angels are the reason why you have these twisted-minded people who think they have this firm understanding of the heavens. But wait, there's more. There's more. We're going to see why they're the main culprits here later on as we read into the scriptures. But I'm going to go back to the article and read some more. So it says, additionally, astronomers are not totally sure if our universe is the only one that exists. This means that space could be a whole lot bigger than we even think. Continue on to the next paragraph. It says, the majority of space is relatively empty, with just stray bits of dust and gas floating around. This means that when humans send a probe to a distant planet or asteroid, the craft will not encounter drag in the same way that an airplane does as it sails through space. So they're even claiming that they've sent probes to different planets and galaxies. Continuing on. In fact, the vacuum environment in space and on the moon is one reason why the lunar ladder of the Apollo program was designed to have an almost spider-like appearance, as it was described by the Apollo 9 crew. Because the spacecraft was designed to work in a zone with no atmosphere, it didn't need to have smooth edges or an aerodynamic shape. So when they were talking about previously in the last paragraph, when they were talking about how humans have sent probes to different planets and galaxies or asteroids that are passing by, we know they're lying, because the Most High said there was a firmament up there at the very top of the earth. There's a firmament, meaning there's a barrier there, and nothing on earth is going to get past that barrier. So for them to say that they shot a probe out to a planet or an asteroid passing by, it's a lie. It's a lie. Nothing's getting past that firmament. That barrier is separating the waters from the ground to the waters that are in heaven. I want y'all to think about something. Think about the last time you went to an aquarium, right? Last time you went to an aquarium and you're walking down the hallways of the aquarium, and they have like this whole aquatic world around you to where you can look up and see the fish and marine animals swim above you. And a lot of times the sunlight would reflect through that glass from the top surface of that water. And when the sunlight reflects down to the area where you're at with your family or your friends, you can see how fluid the twinkling of the sunlight is, wherever it may shine. Even more so when you're looking at the sun reflect off the surface of the ocean or the surface of water. Notice how it twinkles because of the fluidity of the surface it's on. Now, I want you to go outside at nighttime and look at the stars. And when you pay attention to those stars up there, guess what they're doing? They're shining with the same fluidity as light reflecting off the surface of water. True Father says they've been trying to crack it, but nah, yeah, they've been trying to crack that firmament. Shabbat Shalom to Josephine Israel. They've been trying to, but they can't. And they're trying to with all their arrogance and haughtiness and what they think they know. They're profane and miserable with all this knowledge. And as we saw, the beginning of this profane and twisted knowledge began with the degenerate sons of Yah, or AKA the sons of heaven. But yeah, pay attention to that. Go outside when the stars are shining out, and that twinkling of the star is the same fluidity as light reflecting off the surface of water, sunlight reflecting off the surface of a water, or the water reflecting down to the aquarium when you're walking through there with your family and friends. So just by that alone, we know that water is up there. We know that water is up there. But they'll tell you, oh, it twinkles because of gas. Yeah, that's the gas. That's the gas and dust particles that you're seeing that causes a star to twinkle. No, it's because there's water up there beyond the firmament. And the same way you looking through the aquarium glass with the waters that are above you, with the glass holding that water above you and your family and friends as you admire the aquatic animals, it's the same way that starlight is reflecting through the firmament. They won't tell you that though, but that's what it is. So I want you all to pay attention to that. Next time you go outside, if it's dark where you're at right now, I mean, if you're anywhere near me right now, it will be dark. Go outside. While we speak, go outside and look for some stars. Hopefully it's a clear day where you're at. Go outside as we speak right now and look for stars. And look how they twinkle. Then pull up a video on another device if you can. Pull up a video on another device and look at the ocean or look at a lake with the sun setting over the lake or the sun right over the lake at high noon, and watch how the light reflects and twinkles off the surface of that water. It's the same way the stars twinkle. Continuing forward with this article. In addition to the bits of debris that speckle the emptier regions of space, research has shown that these areas are also home to different forms of radiation. In our own solar system, the solar wind, charged particles that stream from the sun, emanate throughout the solar system and occasionally causes auroras near Earth's poles. So they claim that these auroras are because of the magnetic field of the Earth. Okay. I don't believe that neither. I don't believe that neither. Knowing this godly information about the heavens versus what they've been told by devils, I don't believe that neither. It says here that in our own solar system, the solar wind charged particles that stream from the sun emanate throughout the solar system and occasionally causes a aurora near the Earth's poles. Cosmic rays also fly through our neighborhood, stemming from supernovas outside of the solar system. So when they show us those telescopic pictures of a star being born and a star dying, how you see those pillars of dust. If you ever seen those pictures of a star being born from astronomy class or astronomy book, it shows you like pillars of dirt or dust. I really believe they staged all of those pictures. I really believe they're staged. They created an artificial environment with lighting behind it, similar to like an aquarium or something, and they dump dirt in those areas where you see those pillars of dust, which they say is a formation or a birth of a star. That's what I've come to believe, knowing what our Father said about the heavens, which they call AKA space. Now, it says here in the next paragraph, in fact, the universe as a whole is inundated with what is known as the cosmic microwave background, which is essentially the leftover radiation from the explosion, mostly commonly known as the Big Bang. The CMB, which is what they call the cosmic microwave background, is the oldest radiation that our instruments can detect. So they're claiming they detect radiation in the heavens, where the waters are, right? Where the waters are. Let's go back to our scriptures. Now, in these next set of precepts, we're going to learn who is responsible for teaching what to the children of men from this group of degenerate angels, right, that we named previously. We're going to find out who taught what here in the book of Enoch, chapter 8, verses 1 through 9, starting from the top. Moreover, Azazel taught men to make swords, knives, shields, breastplates, the fabrication of mirrors, and the workmanship of bracelets and ornaments, the use of paint, the beautifying of the eyebrows. The beautifying of the eyebrows. So all the aquat that are catching this, when you decide to line up your eyebrows and do whatever it's called, forgive me, I don't keep up with makeup like that. I just know when y'all do it. That was taught by a fallen angel. The beautifying of your eyebrows, Akwath, was taught by a fallen angel. And that fallen angel's name is Azazel. Continuing on, the use of stones of every valuable and select kind, and of all sorts of dyes, so that the world became altered. Impiety increased, fornication multiplied, and they transgressed and corrupted all their ways. Amazarach taught all the sorcerers and dividers of roots. That's why you have root witches and warlocks. They know how to deal with all these herbs and root cuttings. Amazarach is responsible for that. The fallen angel by the name of Amazarach is responsible for that. Now, for anybody who may have gotten on this live stream or you're listening to the playback and you're in a religious spirit and you may feel some type of way of me about me mentioning the names of these fallen angels. Keep in mind, when you're on the right side with the Most High, you have power over such entities. You have power over such entities. Okay. Now, I don't know what's going on in the chat right now, but we rebuke all forms of confusion. You hear me? We rebuke any type of confusion that wants to distract this message. And for the sake of getting rid of confusion, I'm going to go ahead and remove that out of here because I don't know what's being talked about right now, nor am I going to let it take us off track. I don't know what that is there. I don't know what that was, but we're going to continue forward with this lesson and we're going to learn. Okay. Well, you can check yourself without putting it into the chat because I don't know what's going on there with what you're saying. I just read that and I didn't know what was going on, maybe with same with the other viewers. So if you need to do that, do it outside of the chat because when you put it into the chat as an expression, it incites confusion because we don't know what you're talking about. So yes, keep that in check with yourself and out of the chat, please. Now, we found out these names. We have power over such entities by the way of Hamashiach. So if you're feeling any type of way, oh, don't say their names, and you have fear, then you're fearing such degenerate entities. And they may very well pull up on you for having fear with them. So just know that. Just know that we can say their names without summoning them because we have power over them through Hamashiach. Continuing forward. Armors taught the solution of sorcery. So Armors, that fallen angel, is responsible behind sorcery. So all knowledge of sorcery, Armors has his patent on that. Barkayal taught the observers of the stars. So we see here that Barkayal has a patent on this information that we're reading from this website because he taught the children of men the observation of the stars, which is astronomy. And this website I'm reading from on space.com is indeed astronomy. So this is how we know that all the information that they have force-fed us throughout our schooling pertaining to the heavens was given by the way of devils. And specifically starting with Barkayal, that devil taught the observation of stars. Akabel taught signs. Tamiel taught astronomy. So Tamiel is a chief devil behind the knowledge of astronomy. As it says here in Enoch chapter 8, verse 7. Tamiel taught astronomy. And Asa Adel taught the motion of the moon. So we have three main culprits behind all this profane knowledge and understanding and vainglory behind man's observation of the heavens. Three main culprits, three main devils. Barkayal, Tamiel, and Asaradel. And with all this information being given out by these devils and all the sons of men learning this information, verse 9 says, and men being destroyed cried out, and their voice reached to heaven. So the teaching of this information multiplied destruction upon the earth. It multiplied the destruction of mankind. So these devils knew what they were doing, teaching this information. These devils knew what they were doing by teaching such information. Because as soon as the children of men, the inhabitants of the earth, learned this information, destruction multiplied, as it is this day. Look at all these celebrities that are dropping dead. Look at all these celebrities that dropped dead within the past 3 weeks, especially these entertainers. There's no coincidence behind that. There's no coincidence behind these celebrities dropping dead. What happened with such profane information was taught? Enoch chapter 8, verse 9, and men being destroyed cried out, and their voice reached to heaven. Going back to the article. Now it reads in the next paragraph, while scientists have provided extensive evidence for the existence of dark matter and dark energy, they are each still poorly understood, as so far scientists cannot directly observe them and can only observe their effects. Dark matter, dark energy. Shalom to Perfecting the Saints Ministry. Welcome. The bar. Welcome. So we see here that they reference with their profane knowledge and understanding. They reference from their understanding, they call this dark matter and dark energy. That's the same thing that CERN was trying to do. Shalom, Brother Travis. Welcome. I'm used to your actual page. Your page on there. I'm used to seeing that in the chat, not your other page, but welcome. So again, they're calling this energy, dark matter. That tells you enough already. Continuing forward with this article. Roughly 80% of all of the mass in the universe is made up of what scientists have dubbed dark matter. But it's not known what it actually is or if it is even matter by our current definition. However, while dark matter doesn't emit light or energy and cannot therefore be directly observed, scientists have found overwhelming evidence that it makes up the vast majority of the matter in the cosmos. Dark energy might have a similar name to dark matter, but it's a whole different component entirely. Thought to make up nearly 75% of the universe, dark energy is a mysterious and unknown force or entity that scientists think is responsible for the universe's ongoing expansion. More vain understanding and wicked thought processes by these scientists that claim to have this understanding of the heavens. We just read 3 devils are responsible for the knowledge of the heavens. 3 devils. 3 devils. And we read that in the book of Enoch. You said YouTube shut down your first channel? Okay, cool. Cool, okay. Well, I hate to hear that YouTube shut you down. I'm not even going to ask what you did to have YouTube shut you down. But I know you gave them some unfiltered truth to make them go that far, Brother Travis. Now, let's get back into the scriptures here. All praises to the Most High. Let's go back to the scriptures. In 2 Kings chapter 23. We're going to go to 2 Kings chapter 23. And we're going to start from the top. We're going to see what King Josiah did, right? King Josiah, he starting at verse 1. And the king sent, and they gathered unto him all the elders of Judah and of Jerusalem. And the king went up into the house of Yahweh, and all the men of Judah and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with him, and the priests and the prophets. Salah. Okay. My app is trying to prevent the word. Give me a second here, y'all. I'm gonna have to pull it up in my actual Bible here. My app is cutting out words out of the scriptures, but give me a second here. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. One moment. That's what they do. That's what these devils do when you expose them and start trying to manipulate stuff. Yep. Bear with me. I'm gonna put it out of my house Bible here. I'll read it from the house Bible since the app wants to act up. And the king sent, and they gathered unto him all the elders of Judah and of Jerusalem. And the king went up into the house of Yahweh, and all the men of Judah and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with him, and the priests and the prophets and all the people both small and great. And he read in their ears all the words of the book of the covenant, which was found in the house of Yahweh. So the app cut that last portion off that I just read. The app, my Bible app, cut off right after read in. And I couldn't read anything after that. And what was cut out in the app was he read in their ears all the words of the book of the covenant, which was found in the house of Yahweh. So in their ears, all the words of the book of the covenant, which was found in the house of Yahweh, was cut out the app, y'all. Continuing forward here, though, they're not stopping nothing. And the king stood by a pillar and made a covenant before Yahweh to walk after Yahweh and to keep his commandments and his testimonies and his statutes with all their heart and all their soul, to perform the words of this covenant that were written in this book. And all the people stood to the covenant. And the king commanded Hilkiah, the high priest, and the priests of the second order, and the keepers of the door to bring forth out of the temple of Yahweh all the vessels that were made for Baal, and for the grove, and for all the hosts of heaven. And he burned them without Jerusalem in the fields of Kidron, and carried the ashes of them unto Bethel. Verse 5. And he put down the idolatrous priests, whom the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense in the high places in the cities of Judah and in the places round about Jerusalem. Them also that burn incense unto Baal, to the sun, and to the moon, and to the planets, and to all the hosts of heaven. So with this profane knowledge that was taught way back when, during Enoch's time, it was so profound among the earth that our wicked ancestors were making sacrifices and burning incense to the planets, the stars, and the sun. The prince of the air working in these apps. That is correct, Brother Travis. That is indeed correct. But he's not stopping nothing. Though he likes to try, he's not stopping nothing. So all of these priests that were delving into the worship of the heavens got destroyed. They got cut off. They got cut off. And to this day, you have folks getting cut off for such idolatrous worship of the universe. You got people who think the universe does everything for them. Oh, the universe this, the universe that. We already see that profane knowledge came from 3 devils. And these devils were so significant to this knowledge that the Most High decided to share their names with us, which we read in the book of Enoch. Now, continuing forward, they speak on black holes. It says smaller black holes can form from the gravitational collapse of a gigantic star, which forms a singularity from which nothing can escape, not even light. Hence the name of the object, No one is quite sure what lies within a black hole or what would happen to a person or object who fell into it. But research is ongoing. So they're trying to figure out what is inside a black hole. That's how vain they are with their knowledge, that they want to know what happens in a black hole. We just read that. Some things you just can't figure out. The works of Yah are very mysterious, and they're beyond any of our understanding. Though these people done got profane knowledge from devils, fallen angels, they still can never comprehend all the works of the Most High. They still can't. Let's get back to some scriptures. Let's get back to some scriptures. Yep, that's right. That's right, Travis. That's exactly right. It's their vain haughtiness, their pride, and wanting to be like they know everything, right? Let's go back to the scriptures, though. What did the Most High say about the practitioners of this knowledge? The Most High says something about the practitioners of this knowledge. And we're going to go to the book of Isaiah to see what the Most High said to such practitioners of this forbidden knowledge that has been pushed out for millennia. We're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, starting at verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy sorceries. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, stand up and save thee from the things that shall come upon thee. So the Most High isn't playing about having this profane knowledge from devils. The Most High told us in Jeremiah 31 that the heavens can't be measured. And if the heavens were able to be measured, he'll cut off all the seed of Israel. The seed of Israel is still here. But these wicked individuals would like to see the seed of Israel utterly destroyed. So therefore, they come up with all these extra theories and implications about the heavens, because they rather see us all destroyed. But the Most High said in Jeremiah 31 through 35, so like 31 verses 35 to 37, we'll read that again for context. Jeremiah 31:35. Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. So he said, if all those ordinances that he created out in the heavens, if they depart from him, from his possession, then the seed of Israel will no longer exist. Verse 37, thus saith Yahweh, if heaven can be measured, if heaven can be measured, if heaven can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all they have done, saith Yahweh. So he said, if you can measure those heavens and you can measure the earth beneath, then he'll cast us all out forever. For all the wickedness of our ancestors and for our current wickedness, which we have repented from. He said he'll cast us off forever if the heavens can be measured and the earth beneath can be measured. So somebody's been lying their ass off with all this knowledge and foresight of the distances of the heavens, all these light years and miles in the heavens. And then all this, these theories about what's underneath the earth's core and this and that. These damn devils are lying. Con. Yeah, we know who's lying. They're highly wicked, as we see from our holy manuscript. The Most High calls them out for the profane information that has been spread by them, which they have gotten from fallen angels, devils. So, continuing forward here, we're going to read more of this article and then we're going to get some more scripture. Excuse me. So they continue forward in the article saying, an example is gravitational waves or ripples in space-time that come from interactions between black holes. This was first predicted by Albert Einstein at the turn of the last century, when he showed that the time and space are linked. Time speeds up or slows down when space is distorted. So now they think they have this understanding of time and space being slowed down. Time speeding up and slowing down. Now they believe that time speeds up and slows down by their vain understanding that they have of the heavens. They believe that time slows down and speeds up. So now they think they have some type of control over time. Con, true follower, they are. Continue forward. As of mid-2017, the laser I don't know what this word is, man. They come up with some of the craziest stuff here. They call it an interferometer. Interferometer. That's what they call this thing. The laser interferometer gravitational wave observatory. See, in all their profane understanding and their bugged out minds, they come up with these stupid names too, trying to be all extra intelligent with this vain understanding of the heavens. They call this thing the laser interferometer gravitational wave observatory. Scientific collaboration has announced 3 black hole interactions and mergers detected through gravitational waves in just 2 years. They are bugged the hell out. They're bugged the hell out by devils, and they think they have some type of higher intelligence, but they're bugged out. The team found these 3 events in about 2 years, indicating that when LIGO, which is the abbreviation for that long word, is implemented at full sensitivity, the observatory may be able to find these sorts of events frequently. Scientists said in May 2017, should a bunch of these black holes events be detected, it could help scientists learn how black holes of a certain size, several tens of suns masses. So now they're measuring the size of these black holes, saying several tens of suns masses. That don't even make any damn sense. It could help scientists learn how black holes of a certain size, and then they put in parentheses, several tens of suns masses. How do you know the mass of the sun? How was the mass of the sun measured? Tell me, how did they measure the mass of the sun? Con, Josephine Israel, yes, this is all wickedness. They bug the hell out with what they think they know. How did they measure the mass of the sun? The Most High said the heavens cannot be measured. And if they could be measured, all of Israel would be destroyed. But yet they're sitting here saying, oh, the black hole can be several tens of sun masses. What the hell is tens of sun masses? How do you have the mass of the sun? How the hell did you get the mass of the sun? And they want people to believe this bugged out information that they're putting out. So I'll start from the beginning of this sentence so I can finish it appropriately for you all to grasp how bugged out they are. Should a bunch of these black holes events be detected, it could help scientists learn how black holes of a certain size, in parentheses, several tens of sun masses are born and later merge into new black holes. Yeah, that's right, Travis. They are professing to be wise, and they're fools as they do it. Foolishness. Okay, now they have plenty more here, but I'm going to stop at stars. They have a paragraph or two about stars. So I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to get to the closing scriptures. So it says, stars like our own sun are immense balls of gas that produce their own radiation. They can range from red supergiants to cooling white dwarfs that are the leftovers of supernovas or star explosions that occur when a big one runs out of gas to burn. These explosions spread elements throughout the universe and are the reason that elements such as iron exist. So they're saying that these stars exploding in the heavens is the reason why the element iron exists. That's what they just said. Last time I checked, iron can be found in the ground. Iron can be found in rocks. Iron is produced naturally by the earth. So how are they coming up that iron is produced by stars exploding? How are they coming up with all this? I hope y'all hear how bugged out they sound. They sound crazy as hell coming up with all this information, right? Coming up with all this information about objects in the heavens when the heavens can't even be measured. They so bugged out that they think they can tell us something about the chariots. They so bugged out and proud with the knowledge that they have that they think they can tell us, oh yeah, this UFO crashed. This UFO crashed and we found this alien life form in it, or this UFO came here and we shot it down. That's how much of a habitual liar these people are in all their profane wisdom and understanding. They even think they got the chariots figured out to a degree. We don't even have the chariots fully figured out with all the biblical knowledge that the Most High has given us. If we had those chariots figured out, then we'll be riding in them already. But they take it so far. They take it so far that they'll tell you that too. Oh yeah, this UFO crash landed. It crashed. Mr. Sir, Mr. Wicked One, those objects, those aerial phenomenons are heavenly vehicles. They don't crash. They defy the laws of physics because they are straight from the third heaven of the kingdom of Yah. They do so many phenomenal things because they are spirits. These are spiritual vehicles. They don't crash. You can't shoot them down. So with them saying that, we know how far-fetched their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is about the heavens as well. Continuing on in this paragraph, star explosions can also give rise to incredibly dense objects called neutron stars. If these neutron stars send out pulses of radiation, they are called pulsar stars. All right, we're not calling them nothing. We're just gonna call them what the Most High called them, stars. The hell is a damn pulsar star? Who gave you the right to name these stars when the Most High already named them? He said they're stars, and that's it. So where the hell are these other names coming from the stars? Vanity and pride has named these stars these other names that they've been labeled. If it's not in the scriptures, then the Most High didn't name it. The Most High didn't deal with it if it's not in the scriptures. Let's get to these precepts. I'm not going any further with this article. As I told y'all, I'll be posting this article in the comments along with the supporting links if you have it in your spirit to support this ministry. However, let's get to the closing precepts on this. We're going to the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, starting at verse 6. Seek ye Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. So all this wickedness, those who are behind this wickedness, let them forsake their wicked way and their unrighteous thoughts. As it says here in Isaiah 55, verse 7. Continuing forward. So let the wicked forsake his way, and let the unrighteous forsake his thoughts. And let him return unto Yahweh, and he will have mercy upon him. And to our Alahayah, for he will abundantly pardon. What did it say? It said the Most High will abundantly pardon the wicked and the unrighteous if they repent and turn from their wickedness. Verse 8, he says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. So how do you think you have the heavens figured out and all your twisted, wicked theories? If the Most High said his ways aren't your ways and his thoughts aren't your thoughts, how do you have all this stuff figured out to make such bold claims and label it as education for the masses? Verse 9, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So how do you have all these things of the heavens figured out to boldly and confidently publish this profane information as competent knowledge? Isaiah 55 verses 8 and 9 shows your folly. I'll leave it as that. Shabbat shalom. Yes, sir. Indeed. We should. It's been a minute. Yeah, we should. We can get something going. All praises to the Most High. Get at me on Instagram. We'll figure something out. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Shalom.